Fijians. 14 minutes gone. Samoa 6, Fiji 7. Veroniki Ganeva's early interception try after all the early pressure from Samoa in blue. Ball knocked on by Filippo Levi, and then there was an accidental offside, so Fiji will have the scrum. Samoan scrum rope. Simon Lemalu, Mahonri Schwalger and Lagovi Mulipola. Facing them, Campisi Mafu, Tuipati Telemaitoga and the skipper Deacon Manu. Manu and Schwalger banging heads together, having not so long ago played for the same team. They had a spell in Wales with the Llanelli Scarlets. Opposite sides of the fence today. Scrum comfortably won by the Fijians, and Albert Vulivuli uses his muscle to create some havoc. Nasinga driven backwards though, but Fiji just about hang on to the ball, and then they get the penalty. Samoan defenders not coming into the ruck from behind the back foot. Schwalger not entirely sure with the decision. In the debate with the referee, there will only ever be one winner, and Schwalger issues the instructions that Jonker has just given. Fiji's defeat against Tonga dropped them to their worst ever position in the world rankings. They're currently 13th, position they will want to improve ahead of the World Cup. And Nicky Little's penalty drifts wide. So they remain a point ahead. The ball was lost, picked up by Leo. Face of David Lemmy. In today for Alessandro Tuolangi, whose 2 early tries set Samoa on their way in Tokyo, but rich blessings on the wing. Tuolangi one weekend, Lemmy the next. And it's a penalty against the Samoan scrum. Conceded a couple of penalties in kickable positions within a couple of minutes of each other, and having missed from perhaps a slightly tougher position not so long ago, Nicky Little tries to redeem himself and suggests that it'll be a good idea to head for the posts again, as Simon Lemalu contemplates life's fates. Breeze to worry about, just a question of the angle and the distance. And he judged them on this occasion to perfection. Fiji have stretched their lead back to 4 points. Little's penalty midway through the first half. Samoa 6, Fiji 10. Restarts. Nakarava went up rather hopefully, didn't come out with the ball, which allows Samoa to build again, perhaps with some promise and some ferocious tackling and clearing of the ruck, releasing the ball. Quick ball for Samoa, scooped away dramatically by Uli Mai. Fuimana Sapolu providing the link in midfield, playing alongside Johnny Liotta today. Taken on by Maori Fa'asavalu, who's Now got a thick white headband on, protecting a cut of some description, but it's given away. This is Little, taken on by Deacon Manu. Fiji making their way up towards halfway. And they created some mayhem there, just as Samoa looked to be building impressively. The concern for Samoa and Titi Tafua, the coach, will be the amount of time they've spent in possession, but have done nothing with it. That was a fabulous drive, initiated really by Leone Nakarava, who spilt the ball from the restart, but made absolutely sure that at the end of that latest passage of play, Fiji ended up in the profit column. A pause in play while Lagovi Mulipola sorts his boots out. They'll play a test match next weekend against Australia, and then 2 final warm-up games in Australia against Western Force at the end of August will complete Samoa's World Cup preparations. They play Tonga next Wednesday before all of that to complete this Pacific Nations Cup in 2011. Tonga having lost earlier to Japan in this stadium. Ulimai feeds Lavea, who goes high. It's a little bit hopeful, and it falls for Tangi Thakimbau nonetheless. Tangi Thakimbau sprinting away, and he will score. He was made to work hard in the end by Ilikena Bolokoro, but Tangi Thakimbau, with his languid, long strides, took him over the line. And what looked like a rather hopeful hoist from Lavea in the initial phases works out perfectly in the end for Samoa. Tangi Thakimbau stealing the ball back from Veroniki Ganeva, and the man who put Fiji ahead early on, in the end plays a fairly major part in helping Samoa towards their first try of the match as well. And for the first time in the match, it is the visitors who are ahead. Salosi Tangi Thakimbau's try after 22 minutes. Oh, no, not quite drifting in. Conversion missed, but for the first time Samoa are ahead. Into the final 10 minutes of what has been a rumbustious first half, taken on by Namea Kenatali, Fiji's powerful scrum half. Was eventually forced out by Kenatali. Here he is again. Filippo Levi practicing his judo throws and practicing them to good effect. Although Fiji for the time being hanging on to possession. Taken on by Telematoga, Fiji's hooker. This is Nasinga. This is better from Fiji. That's a big, big tackle. Tasesa Lavea was amongst those involved, but I think Mulipola provided the bulk of the muscle. By the way, didn't dislodge the ball, and this is bright stuff. Deacon Manu, Fiji's captain. Kenatali again, finding Little, releasing the backs, but this is Nasinga. Hangs on to possession. Tackled by George Stowers. Here goes Campisi Mafu. Penalties coming. Fiji know they have the insurance policy, so they can play with some ambition here. Taken on by Rwanga, the fullback. First time in the match, really, that they've given the ball some air and really threatened that Samoan defence. Their first try was an interception. This work is much more of their own making. Attempted little chip through from the try scorer Geneva, didn't work, but we're going to come back for the earlier penalty. And Mariusz Jonker's impression is that he might want to have a little word here. Some talk of a high tackle. Not seen by Mariusz Jonker, but spotted from the touchline. And it looks like Filippo Levi, who was in the middle of a... He was involved right at the start of that passage of play with a couple of hefty throws, and I wonder if one of those throws has earned him this yellow card. He's off for 10 minutes. He doesn't look entirely happy with the decision. Baffled is another word. But in the course of some pretty stiff defending, according to the touch judge on the far side, Filippo Levi overstepped the mark, and Samoa will be down to 14 players. Not sure if we're going to see what Levi did. No, he wasn't involved in any of that. I think it happened earlier in the exchanges with those hefty throws to the floor. Anyway, he is off, and Fiji have a one-man advantage that will take them a couple of minutes into the second half as well, and Samoa have got some regrouping to do. Samoa overtaking Fiji, moving into the world's top 10 after that win against Japan. Snatched the title from the Fijians, their great rivals in Apia last year, with a dramatic 41-38 win. This one is shaping up to be just as tight in Suva this evening. Won well by Kalu. Secured possession. They've had one drive. They're allowed a second, and then they will have to spin it wide. Going to have to spin it wide now because it's gone to ground. Opportunity perhaps to reset it with Matadigo, who is standing off. Now he joins the ruck. Matadigo, the number 8, looks like he's happy enough to... Oh, there's some unnecessary heading out just to the left of the ball. The only Nakarava was amongst those involved. He was certainly the man in white involved. 1 or 2 men in blue as well, all getting a little bit feisty in the final few minutes of this first half. Samoa hanging on rather grimly to that 1-point lead, down as they are to 14 players. Filippo Levi will be watching this somewhat anxiously. Advantage coming Fiji's way. Getting closer, getting ever so close. There's the ball. Campese Maafu picks up, drives towards the line, and he's over the line. All about the power of the loose head, Campese Maafu. Picked the ball out. Only a couple of meters away, but it was a heavily populated couple of meters. But the power of that man drives Fiji over for their second try of the half and regains the lead just before the break.